back to the football down here with the match preview today, called Stockport County take on Crawley Town this Saturday. It's a weird one actually. It's been an international break. It's been dry for 2 weeks without football, obviously, because of the postponement of the game against Reading last weekend. It means that we've gone pretty much 2 weeks without a game. We last played against Accrington in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, 4-1 win there, which I thought it was a good performance, but I don't think it was as good as the 4-1 scoreline actually looks. But I think it slightly flattered us actually. I didn't think we started particularly that well. But at the end of the day, you take it. It's a 4-1 win. It's never anything to complain about. 2 goals from Jack Stretton as well, which is the key one. Nick Powell back in the side as well. That was good to see. The fact that we could put in a midfield of, Norwood and Nick Powell, which has got Premier League and Championship experience, in a sort of cup game, which we're not really that bothered to a lot of the time. That says a lot about the depth in this squad, the quality in this squad. So yeah, looking forward to, well, it was a great performance. Looking forward to the game on Saturday though. Obviously I'm not going to be going because it's quite difficult to get to Crawley, to be honest. And yeah, we've got a load of games lined up over the next few weeks though, so don't worry about that. Match vlogs will be back on the channel over the next few weeks. We will probably go live actually pre-match on Saturday, just before the game. If people are interested in that, do let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, let's get into the preview. Let's talk about County, let's talk about Crawley. Well, Crawley Town, what do we know about Crawley Town then? Otherwise known as Red Devils, that's the nickname. Formed in 1896. They are, of course, this weekend's opponents for Stockport County. But like County, Crawley were promoted from League 2 last season, finishing as League 2's playoff champions. Goals from Danilo Orsi and an impressive goalkeeping displays from giant Curry Adai helped contribute to Crawley's success. However, both departed in the summer, with Orsi making the move to Burton Albion, who is yet to score in League 1 so far this season for Burton. And of course, Curry Adai making the move to Stockport County. Obviously taking the number 1 spot from 37-year-old Ben Hinchliffe, who of course is a club legend at Stockport County. Crawley Town currently find themselves 12th in League 1, with 1 point splitting them between Northampton and others to hold a top half position. Crawley have registered 2 wins and 2 defeats from 4 games in League 1 so far, scoring 3 and conceding 5. League 1 makes for interesting reading actually. Just 3 matches went ahead last weekend due to international call-ups causing matches to be postponed. Of course, County Reading was one of those fixtures that was postponed. Wrexham and Barnsley have pushed up in the league table, with Wrexham's 3-0 win over Shrewsbury Town now putting Phil Parkinson's side atop of League 1, while Barnsley's 2-1 win over Bristol Rovers saw them rise to 3rd place. Charlton also hosted Rotherham, which finished 1-1. Stockport County remain in 2nd with a chance to go back top on Saturday as Wrexham face Birmingham City on Monday night in what is probably one of the biggest fixtures in this season's League 1 calendar. And as you can see there in the league table, Wrexham are top, County in 2nd, Barnsley 3rd, Birmingham 4th. It's probably going to look something like that come the end of the season as well, to be honest. Wrexham, County, Barnsley, Birmingham, Lincoln, Huddersfield are all teams that will be expected to be there or thereabouts. But Crawley keep themselves just about in the top half of the table in 12th place, just below Peterborough and Exeter. And then, of course, the bottom half of the table where we find Mansfield Town. We also find Wigan Athletic, Shrewsbury, Blackpool, Cambridge. A lot of the opponents that County have faced so far this season currently find themselves in the bottom half of the table. So what do we know about Crawley Town then? Well, let's talk about the manager. Walsall-born Scott Lindsay is the current manager of Crawley Town, having taken on the job in January 2023 after leaving Swindon Town, where he spent just 6 months in charge here. His record at Swindon was very mixed, with 10 wins, 8 draws and 12 defeats from 30 matches, giving him a win rate of 33.3%. His record at Crawley Town so far is higher at 42.4%, with 55 more matches under his belt. At Swindon, he has managed 36 wins, 15 draws and 34 defeats during his time with the Red Devils. Now we're going to talk about head-to-head record between the two sides. Last season, Crawley, of course, travelled to Edgeley Park for the first meeting of the season on the 2nd of September in a game which finished 3-3. It's fair to say that County fans didn't take well to Crawley play, celebrating in front of the Cheadle End that day. County had to rely on a late equaliser from Tanto Alafi to give the host a point that day. County had initially taken the lead with a wonder strike from Louis Barry. before Anthony Sarcevic put the Hatters 2 in front with a lovely chipped finish. Crawley Town were then allowed to go and score 3 goals without reply due to poor defending before Tanto Laffy turned up with some late magic to rescue a point for Stockport County that day at Edgeley Park. A disappointing result for County that day, and it wouldn't be any better in the next meeting either. County would go into the second meeting with just 1 win from the last 5 matches. The Hatters were in poor form after being battered 4-0 by Tranmere Rovers, drawing 0-0 in back-to-back matches versus Gillingham and Swindon, before Paddy Madden rescued a late win at home versus Newport County. The goal came in the 93rd minute, and what a goal it was. The goal gave County fans hope that their season may well be turning a corner. That is of course before drawing again against Crawley in a reverse fixture 1-1. A frustrating Tuesday night at Broadfield Stadium wouldn't stop the players from going out and responding with an emphatic 5-0 win over MK Dons in the next match. And in the end, both teams saw promotion, and it will be interesting to see how both teams do this season in League One. One robbed of its best players in the summer, and one flying after a squad overhaul in the summer. I'm sure you can guess which one I'm talking about. So the overall record between the two teams is completely equal. According to my research, and I could have got this completely wrong, but from the sites I checked, County and Crawley have only faced each other on a handful of occasions. In fact, they've only met 4 times, with both sides winning on each occasion on home soil in the 22-23 season, and of course ending level in both fixtures last season. Based on that alone, you'd say Crawley have the upper hand playing the game in front of a home crowd because they've won on home ground before. We haven't beaten them at that ground before. Having said that, record's there to be broken. An example off the top of my head would be just a few weeks ago, Carl Wootton never scored against Mansfield in his career, managed to get a 37th minute equaliser against the Stags to register his first goal against Mansfield in his career, and also earn us a point away from home as well. We're now going to talk about team news, of course. It's been a few weeks, giving us time to get players back fit as well. We knew there was a big injury situation going on at Stockport County, which it looks like it's improved. You would expect it to have improved, to be fair, with the sort of almost 2-week break. But it appears that Lewis Fiorini, Callum Connolly, Sam Hughes are all back and available for selection after County released training pictures of the trio this week. It also looks like we have Southern Hales back, Ryan Rydell, Jay Mingy and Lewis Bay all appear to be back as well, with of course Jack Stretton. We know he's back because of the 2 goals he scored last week in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy against Accrington. Like I say, I imagine most are back fit now, most are back available. There's probably still a handful of players out like Michael Mellon, of course, and Cat O'Neill. But I can't really think of any more injured players that would be injured. We know Nick Powell's back as well because he played last week. So I think we've got most of our players back, and of course that will make it a little bit more tricky for Dave Challoner in terms of picking the starting 11. But I think that's going to make it more interesting. The team I'm going to go with is going to be interesting as well, but I think it's a good thing because now we're going to see Dave Challoner being forced to manage the squad, manage having to leave players out rather than having his hand forced with selections. It'll be interesting because over the last this season, last season, he didn't really have too much of a choice of who he's going to pick. So he's not had to manage a group of players who are missing out of games who were available to play, shall we say. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. But the team I've gone with is going to be an interesting one. Corey Adai, of course, in goal yet again. I'll go with Onyango at right back because I think Mingy's just come back. Onyango's played the last few games. I think he'll go in there. Horsfall, Ethan Pye, Ibao Toure, of course. Norwood still goes in ahead of Lewis Bate for me. To be honest, Collar Camps, of course, in midfield, as it has been pretty much throughout the season so far. Then I'm going to go with Jaden Fevrier on the right-hand side, who's just looked a constant threat when he has played so far. I thought he was really impressive in the game against Accrington last week as well. So I'm really keen for him to start the game again on that right-hand side. And then, of course, Louis Barry, irreplaceable on that left-hand side. No one gets in ahead of him. And, of course, then you've got a conversation between Cal Wootton He's been undroppable at the moment, but that international break might have just given Dave Challinor the opportunity to throw Tanto Alafi in, who we know is probably a better striker than Cal Wootton, but at the moment Wootton's produced the goods, so it's going to be interesting to see how he manages that, because we got Tanto Alafi. Most teams in League One would start a striker like him every week. For him to have been on the bench and not really had many minutes so far in League One presents an interesting challenge for Dave Challinor. So yeah, I want to get your thoughts on that as well, about Cal Wootton or Tanto Alafi. Who would you go with? Do you think that having this sort of two-week break has enabled Challinor a good opportunity to bring in Tanto? Because for me, Wootton's still produced the goods. Got us that point against Mansfield a few weeks back as well. It would be really harsh to leave him out, but at the same time, Tanto Alafi is our top striker. He's probably a better striker than Cal Wootton when he's at his best. And I don't think Tanto Alafi's going to want to sit on the bench for too much longer either, having already sat on the bench for the last few games. So be interesting to see how Challinor manages this. We've also got Jack Stretton now as well, eager to play. With him getting 2 goals against Accrington, he'll be knocking on the door for minutes as well. So going to be very interesting to see how Dave Challinor manages this. And this is what I was saying the other week. We've got all these players now who are going to be demanding game time, and this is why I think we could use the competitions like the Bristol Street Motors Trophy as a really good opportunity to try and give these players minutes and say, well, if you produce goods in in these kind of games, then you may well just get yourself in the door. You may well just get yourself in that starting 11. Come a Saturday in the League One, in League One. So really, really interesting to see how Dave Challinor manages that. But yeah, that's the team I've gone with. Want to get your thoughts on that? Do you agree with the team I've gone with? I'll go through it again. Corey Adai in goal, Onyango at right back, Horsfall, Ethan Pine, Baltore, Norwood, Collar, Camps, Fevrier, Louis Barry, and of course Cal Wootton. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section below. We're going to give a score prediction as well. We're going to go with a 3-1 win for Stockport County. Cal Wootton to score, Louis Barry to score, and of course Jaden Fevrier to score. I would absolutely love that. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, of course. Who do you think should start, especially up top as well, Tanto Alafi or Cal Wootton? Let me know which one you side with on that one, of course. Thoughts on the season so far as well for both sides. Score prediction as well. Also want to say as well at the end of this, check out talkcounty.com. The link is in the description below as well. Mentioned it many times now. It's a brilliant forum. We want to get more people registered on that to keep, basically keep the conversation going. So yeah, just register for that and be part of it. Also as well, subscribe to TFR Plus. We spoke about that as well over the last few weeks. That's the channel that I'm going to be hopefully starting soon, where anything that isn't Stockport County related, anything that isn't EFL related, that you want me to talk about, that's the channel to talk about that. Click the notification bell on this channel as well to make sure that you know when videos get posted on here as well. Get your comments in. I'll see you lot in the next one. Thanks for tuning in.